All right, time now is 8:45 a.m. on June 24th. It's Michelle's birthday. Shout out. So I slept for 4 hours. I slept from 4 to I think I think 4:15 to 8:30 essentially, or 4:15 to 8:15, right? I can't believe I'm sleeping 4 hours just for Thomas. That's absolutely bullshit. But then if I don't do that, then I would have nothing to do today and I would feel like shit. Um, yeah. Um, and then the fact that I have to also sleep very little tonight, aka tomorrow morning for church. Uh, that's gonna be fun. Hopefully I go to bed at like 3 today. But yeah. So today I'm going to go help out Thomas with his podcast, silly, goofy little podcast, have lunch together. Um, so yeah, silly and goofy. Um, um, yeah, that's pretty much it. Um, yeah, I don't know. I still feel really bad yesterday. I didn't cry at all yesterday as well, which is kind of amazing. Okay, I keep getting notifications on my calendar. Um, which is pretty amazing. I almost cried a little bit, actually. I was calling Retablo, and I talked about how empty it feels, and that stings a little bit, and that almost made me cry a little bit. And again, I don't want to get into details, but he agrees with me. The emptiness. He said it feels like an empty house, and I thought that was actually quite a poetic way to put it. Yeah, it does feel like an empty house. It does. Um, I don't know. I mean, now I'm trying my best to think that I actually haven't lost much. I mean, yeah, I've lost a lot, but it's not exactly completely the end of the world. Um, I haven't lost that much, right? Yeah. Besides, I already expected this in the first place, like before I confessed to her. I already expected that she'll say no and I'll be rejected by USC and then I'll move on. Uh, it's just a delayed reaction. It's just that she decided to play with my feelings for 1 month straight. I remember how fucking jolly and happy I am. Like after like that night of the confession and then the day after, I was so fucking happy. And it was all for nothing. It was all for nothing. Um, yeah, yeah, I don't know. Um, and a few days ago, Tova, like when I told Tova about this, she said, yeah, she loves to play, and that's true. She's playing around. So, I don't know, God knows, maybe a few months later, maybe even a year later, when Leslie's not doing this job anymore and learns the importance of human interaction, maybe she's gonna be like, man, I feel so lonely and I want to date. And then she would think, oh yeah, this Enoch person was deeply in love with me a while back. Um, you know, friggin'. I want him. And then maybe she'll ask me or something. But then if she does, I probably will say no because she's already hurt me enough. I don't really trust her anymore. And no, even if I trust her, I wouldn't want to go back because I've decided to move on from this painful experience. So yeah, it's unfixable. Yeah. So yeah, that's that. That is that. Hopefully whoever I fall in love next, hopefully the next one is the real one. The next time I fall in love is the real one. And I realized that yesterday when I called Utabo, an interesting point came up, and that is she's a femcel. Like, she's doing even worse than me in terms of romance. Like, at least I'm going out there, I'm talking to people, I'm asking people out. I confessed to a girl. And she confessed to a guy, she confessed to Theo, and it all went to shit, I guess. But, it's just, I might be having even more riz than her. I have more of a social life than her. So that's that. Fuck, I don't know. I also need to go to Ralph's today, I guess. That's another thing. That is a thing. Yeah, I'm tired. Can you see anything? Oh my god.
Can you just get rid of the setting? Should I get crunchy rice roll?
Maybe, I don't know. This is not for Insta.
I'd say I factor it in, but it's not like a deciding factor.
Because
It's definitely something I'd consider.
Time now is 6:37. Just got back from Ralph's. Nacho cheese, Doritos. Goddamn it, 2 bell peppers. I got I almost poked a hole. I think I actually did poke a hole. Salmon. Carne asada. Friggin' slices of pork. Right here we got some beans. Okay, there it is. We got some golden potatoes. Got some oranges. Got some tomatoes. Got the pasta sauce. Got some mayonnaise. And got a canned peas and carrots. Right here we got all this bread. And then we got a sweet potato pie. $60. Alright, time now is 9:57 p.m. Just finished dinner with carne asada, salad kit, a bit of lettuce, spaghetti. Yeah, so today I woke up pretty fucking early. Went to 9:15 a.m. Thomas picked me up. We went to his place. I set up my camera. We met his roommate. I've seen his roommate for a while already. His roommate Pablo, who is from Mexico, and I filmed the podcast. And apparently it's not that difficult to set up the podcast setup. He's got the computer ready, he's got OBS opened and ready. I plug in an HDMI from my camera to the computer and boom, it just worked. And then it just worked, and after looking up some settings, we managed to make it look fine. And we did the podcast, and I was really sleepy this morning. I think it's because 2 days ago I slept 6 hours, yesterday I slept 6 hours, and then today I slept 4. So obviously that's not very great, but it's very much needed sleep deprivation so that I would sleep earlier tonight. I filmed the podcast on a shitty tripod, panning left and right from Thomas's face to Pablo's face, and the podcast went on for 1 hour and 45 minutes. It was so long, and I was really tired. I got really bored and looked at my own phone a few times, but it was fine. The podcast itself is pretty fucking boring. The way Thomas made it was like a fucking Wikipedia article, because he would say, okay, introduce yourself. Okay, so first of all, you're from Mexico, so what is the culture there like? How is the economy there? How's the politics there? How's the language? How is the industry? How is the education system? How is the tourism there? And it's just how is this, how is that, how is this, how is that, for about 1 hour and 40 something minutes. And then it gets interesting near the end with the lightning round. How many countries have you been to? And what are your favorite foods? Those are pretty fun. But even though those are boring questions and Pablo gave some pretty boring standard answers, I feel like if I'm on the podcast, I would be able to, give some pretty insightful, thoughtful, interesting answers. Anyways, the podcast, that episode ended, and we decided to go out and have lunch. So, because I didn't bring a camera charger, Pablo was like, hey, I got a USB line. Turns out it's the wrong line. I wanted USB, I thought it's USB-C, but actually it's like some other input. So Tom was like, why don't I drive you home? You go back home and charge your camera, and then you come out again. We have lunch, and then I drive you back home again. You pick up the camera, and then we go back to my place where we film the podcast and we talk to you. So that's the plan. So we actually did that. I went back home, took a piss, charged my camera, and then we went out to have lunch. And we didn't know where to go for lunch, so we just decided to go for Sawtell, and had a meal. I don't know. I was like, I don't know, Sushi Stop, and Tom was like, sure. So we went to Sushi Stop, parked the car. And Tom was like, oh, if there's parking fee, like originally we went for metered parking, like, do you mind if we split the fee? I was gonna fight back. I was like, I'm helping you film the podcast for free. Can you be nice and just pay the metered parking for me? But I didn't finish that sentence. We ended up parking in a parking structure where it's basically free for the first 2 hours. We went to Sushi Stop, and honestly, I didn't expect it to be good, and it's not good. And I ended up paying $20-something, which is so fucking stupid. But I ordered 3 plates, and each plate is really cheap. A spicy tuna tempura roll, and then salmon and salmon roe hand roll, which isn't with seaweed, and then also chicken udon, which tastes so bland and so fake and phony, and it's $20, but I did order a lot. So after that, I picked up my camera, we went back to his place, and we did the podcast where this time I'm being interviewed. And it was quite fun. It was a little awkward at first because I have to be all serious and shit, but also be entertaining and stuff. But we managed to go power through it. I enjoyed it at the end because Thomas asked so many questions about Hong Kong and Hong Kong culture and Hong Kong food and Hong Kong everything and education system. I actually got to talk a lot about my culture that otherwise I wouldn't have the chance to talk about. So that's great, even though I know that nobody will watch any of this shit. Yeah. After the podcast, I told him that I want to go to Ralph's, so he drove me to Ralph's, and he was in a pretty good mood. So he followed me around Ralph's, also bought some groceries with me, and he drove me home so I don't have to, according to him, lunge all my groceries onto a bus and go all the way back home, which sucks, but I do that like every week, and I'm used to it already. And that's pretty much it for today. Came back home, that's it. Liam called us like 3 times. So Liam kept calling Thomas because they were chatting about college decisions. So it's pretty fucking crazy what's actually happening. So Thomas is again in a bit of a hard pickle because he doesn't want to go to CSUN because he thinks CSUN is terrible. So he has to study longer. And Liam's also apparently in a bit of a pickle because Liam's choosing between LMU, CSUN, and UC Berkeley, and another school called California Lutheran School, which is in Thousand Oaks. He calls it Cal Lu, and I had no idea what it is until today. And he originally wants to go to LMU, but apparently he got accepted for film studies, not film production. Same for Jaden. Only Trinity got into film production. Holy shit. And then, apparently if you transfer to LMU, you need to study for 3 years, at least. Liam's not ready to do film studies for 3 years straight. And it's basically impossible to transfer to film production. So, that was kind of stupid. Alright, God, I have no source space. Yeah, so there's that. And apparently, according to Thomas, it's pretty much the same. This is what Thomas found out. If you do CSUN, it's going to be at least 2.5 years. If you do Tisch and NYU, it's going to be at least 3 years. If you do friggin' LMU, it's going to be at least 2.5 years. If you do friggin' Columbia University, it's going to be 3 years, something like that. I was promised that after you transfer, it's just 2 more years. 2 years of community college, 2 years of university, that's it. But it's a fucking lie, especially if you do film. Fuck. Did not see that coming. So now, especially for such a heavy school like USC, I think I will have to graduate in 2026, which means that my bachelor's degree will end up taking me 6 fucking years. So, fuck. I don't know, I may have to sell my kidneys. But another thing is, Liam wants to further talk to Thomas, and they want to hang out. Liam said he's going to watch Asteroid City, and Thomas wants to join. And I said I wanted to join too, but our schedules don't line up because they're only free in the weekend with Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Friday, I got fucking, 2001 Space Odyssey with Leslie. Saturday and Sunday, I got Not Donkey Nor Horse to work on, the USC short. So at the end, our schedules don't line up. But I interestingly talked to Liam a bit about the interview that I and Tova want to do. And he's down. But the thing is, I want to interview all of Trinity Gang. All Liam, Jaden, Ava, and Trinity all at once. And the problem is Jaden and Trinity will leave tomorrow morning to some whatever place for a vacation, a honeymoon, something like that. And they won't be back until like a week later. So I guess we'll have to wait and figure things out. But it should be okay. And even Liam's unclear what's gonna happen, so I may have to text Jaden or Trinity, like, about this. So yeah, there's that. And then that's pretty much it for today. Again, I didn't cry any at all today. I think the days that I don't go out, that I go outside, I just don't cry, and I feel a bit better today. I don't know how I define better. I guess I feel the same. Like yesterday and today, I feel the same. Empty. But on June 20th and 21st, it's like intense emptiness. Today and yesterday is just sorrow, like helpless sorrow. There's nothing you can do. Quiet. Just I find myself staring at things like windows and plants, and I just feel peaceful, and it's empty, and it hurts. It hurts, and I don't know. It's like it's a hint. It's a hint of pain. It's not intense pain like June 20th and 21st. Now it's just a hint of pain, but it still hurts, and it sort of like lingers on. Yeah, I mean, I'm beginning to really realize and conceptualize the idea that Leslie isn't the only one, and also even if Leslie's gone, I still have a bunch of friends I can hang out with, all the way from Cliff to Ken, to Michelle. I didn't leave this community college with nothing in my hands. And surely I'll be in the same college next semester. I told Liam that, and Liam got intrigued. He's like, "Oh, so the conquest continues. Ooh." And then we called him back, and he's like, "Enoch, so wow, so you're continuing. Wow." And I told him, like, I'm not telling anyone this because I want it to be a secret. So, and he's like, "Wow, it's a sneak attack. Wow." Yeah, truly, I don't know. I don't care what Leslie thinks of me anymore. I think the phone call was the final straw. I think before the phone call, I was still like bargaining. Like, I'll send you a text, please respond back. I'll send you a text, please respond back. I'll see you in person just to speak to you. Maybe she still has feelings for me. Maybe. There's still a chance. Maybe if I sort this out, maybe, because I and Leslie, we have never truly hang out just the both of us, so maybe if we do, then she'll see the real me, and I will riz her up, and I'll be funny and sweet and dreamy, and she'll like it. Maybe if we apologize to each other, maybe if I talk to her about it, maybe we'll figure this out. Maybe, just maybe, but I've ran out of maybes. That's the truth. She's not interested in me. And there's nothing I can do about it. And maybe next semester she'll be interested in me. Maybe next semester I'll act normal and I'll be normal and I'll be fine again. And maybe I and Leslie, if I have completely moved on from her, maybe I and her will have a little bit friendly interactions. But it's just back to square one. Maybe she'll think, I probably should have continued this relationship. But I don't care anymore. Maybe she won't. Maybe she'll stick with not having any feelings for me. It doesn't matter anymore. If she tells me, I know it sounds crazy, but if she comes up to me and tells me, like, "Hey, I'm sorry, I wish we could be together," and I would just say, "Well, I love you, but I also don't trust you anymore. It's too late." So, yeah, again, it's a fucking shame. It's a shame. And there's so many compelling evidence telling me not to like a Chinese girl. Like all over like the internet, my YouTube recommendations is just full of like, oh, Chinese people are doing this now, Chinese people are doing that now. They're eating food on top of a trash can. They're making all these stupid cooking videos that's disgusting. They're talking shit about Hong Kong while being super uncivilized. I have every fucking reason to dislike Leslie, but I choose to love her. Like, I think that's like majestic. I wish she could see that. And I wish she shows up. Watch her like ghost me for 2001: Space Odyssey. It has to end that way, right? And I want to show her that I'm older than her, that I'm more mature than her. I want to act more mature than her. Usually it's really easy. If someone's younger than me, I automatically feel like a senpai. But for some reason, Leslie just has that, that high and mighty attitude. And I'm also realizing like how many people are going to already go into Film 33 knowing that Leslie is a problematic person. People like Kiara, Ken. Yeah. Oh well. Oh well. It'll pass. Surely I'll probably find someone just as interesting, if not more. Yeah. I texted the church teacher that I'm going to church tomorrow, but he's in some sort of family retreat. So he's asking Jonah, the other guy from church, but if he doesn't drive me, I'm totally down to not go to church because I want to sleep. But that also means tomorrow I won't go anywhere. I won't leave my apartment at all, and that means depression. Maybe not. Maybe I'll chill out. Who knows? Alright, time now is 12:59 afternoon on June 25th. Right now it's exactly 1.5 years since I left. Since my new life began. So, yeah, I slept from 4:15 to 12:45, and I think I slept like all the way because I was so fucking tired. Last night at the very, very end, at around 10 p.m., I told the church teacher I'm going to church. And then he said, I'm at a family retreat. I'm going to text Jonah about this. And then he told me to double check with Jonah. And at that point, that's when I was having second thoughts. I'm like, okay, hold on. I'm tired as fuck. And again, I don't want to go to church and then nobody's there. And I'm wasting other people's time because Jonah has to drive all the way from Monterey Park to Santa Monica to pick me up. And then bring me back home again. Like, I'm just causing unnecessary problems. So, I texted Jonah and I said, hey, did the church teacher ask you to drive me there? And at around 12 at midnight, Jonah said, yes, I just saw it. And then I immediately said, actually, I'm just too tired. I probably won't go. And he's like, okay. Which is a little awkward, but I think I made the right choice because, yeah, the sleep was very much necessary. It was a very much necessary sleep. Yeah, there's that. So today I probably will spend the entire day in my own apartment. And hopefully I won't sulk in my own pain and misery. Hopefully I have things to do. Yeah. I don't know, Potter actually asked me if I'm free later, so maybe I'll go out to see Potter again, which is totally fine by me. But in the time being, I will be doing what I do. You know, I'll watch movies, film reviews. I'll go back to YouTube. I spent a good chunk of time last night editing the trailer for my short film to avoid copyright and also just to edit the trailer. It's a very difficult trailer to edit because it's so irregular. I'm trying to copy the trailer for Cure. Yeah. I don't know, but yeah, I do reviews. I'm gonna begin looking for houses. Thomas told me he's willing to work with me to look for apartments because he's like an expert, so that's fucking great. I'm gonna actually ask for his help. And Thomas is like annoying and silly, but I guess at this point he's actually a little helpful. And I will begin, if I have extra time, I'll draw. If I have extra time, I will sort of, I don't know, write a script, start working on a new script, start getting my creative juices flowing again. It's been how many days since the phone call? It's the 25th. It's been 6 days, I guess. 5 days, 6 days. I'm still sad about it. I still think about her. After I wake up, I still think about her. But again, I just recognize that there's nothing I can do. Also, heartbreaking, not really heartbreaking, but Instagram story that tingled me a little bit. Liana made an Instagram story. Apparently, she, Alex, the Brazilian guy, Jordan, and Ariel, and I think some other person, and freaking Leslie are in a film set together, and that film set is Ariel's film set. So I'm actually glad that I ended up not going to Ariel's film set at all, because I would have seen Leslie and it would just be hell for me. And I would see the same few people again and I will want to die. I will want to die if I see them again because it's like it reminds me of ends and means and that's terrible. So thank God I didn't go. But yeah, hopefully Leslie isn't gonna ghost me for the 2001: A Space Odyssey screening. I'm gonna text her the night before just to make sure it's actually happening. And yeah. And then finally, Cliff just sent me something. One more thing. What was I thinking? Oh shit, what was I thinking? Oh yeah, exciting. Tomorrow's gonna be exciting because tomorrow we're interviewing Leia for the secret documentary, which is fucking crazy. It's a resurgence movement. We're going to CMD, but CMD is not safe, so I don't know where else to go. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like what we're doing is very fucking dangerous, and at some point it will somehow spread because the word spreads fast. So we need to be very fucking street smart about this. I'm going to start preparing the questions tonight, charge my camera, make sure it has enough space, and prepare the whole process with Tova. I'm also thinking of seeing Asteroid City maybe next Tuesday or Wednesday. But on Tuesday, apparently there's a crew mixer thing for Not Donkey Nor Horse, the USC short that I'm going to be working on. Maybe I'll go? I don't know, because the thing is I don't drive, so I have no idea. But yeah, we'll see. But I think going would be a great idea, because if this is like a class, and I only have a PA role, and I desperately want to be in the producing team, or like be a PA for specific departments. So this mixer would be like the opportunity for me to slide into certain departments and, do something. It would be an opportunity for me to talk. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I still love filmmaking. Holy shit. Even after all this shenanigans, I still love filmmaking. Um, I'm still super fucking interested in being scripty or just any part in the production team. It seems boring, but actually it's quite fun. I don't know. Maybe I should try camera team. Maybe I should try art team. Maybe those teams will do me good as well. I think I'm afraid of camera team because I know that a lot of people are better than me at it. But I've never. I think art team. I should give art team a shot. Actually, I should also give art team a shot. It's funny because Ken told me that if he wasn't a director, he would probably go for production designer, and because he liked art stuff. But that's not his main thing. His main thing is just writing, directing. And I was thinking that in the future, if I do like make a Chinese period short film, I would probably have him on in the art department. Maybe not necessarily the production designer, but maybe the art director. I think that would rock. And again, art director and production designer they usually work together, even though they're not supposed to. It's supposed to be like the PD is higher, but I think that would work out. That would rock. That would work. And yeah. But yeah, spent a hefty amount of time editing the trailer. I am pretty satisfied with it. I hope Leslie watches it and feel my sadness and fucking, I don't know.
On my day one rider, never been hangers, we don't take flyers. Not just the answer, we can't trust the liner. Not from music, cause you know people like this.
You know what I mean? Slimy.
Slime. Oh my god.
Yeah, slimy. Slimy til det. Og gå slimy.
Si tú supieras que yo tengo lo mío.
Yeah, time now is 8:07 p.m. Finish some ice cream here. I'm gonna talk more about this later, but I came back home a while back at around 7 p.m. and yeah, I went out with Potter to Dockweiler Beach to meet a bunch of strangers that I've never seen before for no reason, and it was extremely awkward, and I found a way to escape it. I was gonna do the laundry because I have a bunch of dirty clothes, but of course every time I want to do the laundry, my roommate's also doing the laundry. It's all one big laundry fuck. I'm gonna hop back to YouTube now, film a couple of reviews, and more information to be said, yeah. Alright, so time now is 11:51. I have no idea why. Okay, hold on. Why do I have so little storage space? Alright, time now is 11:58 p.m. Just finished dinner, which is rice, bok choy with garlic fried together, and hold on, what the okay, yeah, so I really to have like zero storage space. I spent like 4 or 5 minutes trying to clear videos, and all I did is gain about 3 more minutes of storage space. So essentially what happened today is Potter randomly texted me at around 12 at noon, and I was asleep at that point, saying, "Hey, are you free later?" I woke up and I asked, yeah, kind of, what's going on? And he said that his friend is holding a bonfire party. Do you want to come along? And it's between 3 to 5. And I'm like, okay. And I thought it's weird because why would you hold a bonfire party in like the afternoon and for 2 hours? Usually it goes way longer than that. Turns out I'm right. 3 to 5 is basically the starting time. The starting time goes anywhere between 3 to 5. But I sort of didn't know if I should go or not, because my plan is to watch Succession, film reviews, and just chill out for the rest of the day. But I thought to myself, well, why not go? Like, if I sulk all the way in my own apartment, maybe I'm missing something great. I don't know. So I went. Potter said he would pick me up at 2:45 p.m. and he ended up picking me up at 3:30 p.m. I had to wait for 45 minutes for him. But yeah, we decided to go. Potter showed up outside of my apartment, and we drove all the way to Dockweiler Beach, which is a place I haven't been to before. So Potter drove really slowly, and apparently it's because it's been like half a year since Potter has driven, and this is not his car. He doesn't have a car. This is his host's car. And the thing is, the host forbade him to drive, but also the host, the old woman, went to Virginia to visit her family, leaving Potter completely alone in the house. I guess with Lily as well. Lily the lesbian. He decided to drive it, and he's not supposed to. So we went to Dockweiler Beach. We're like, hey, what's up? And he gave me more details. I shouldn't have gone without knowing enough information, but that's also part of like adventure, you know? So he told me more details. He met this black guy in photography class, and he doesn't know him very well. But one day the black guy was like, "Are you free this Sunday?" And Potter's like, "Yeah." And the guy was like, "Well, I'm holding a bonfire party. Do you want to come?" And Potter's like, "Yeah, sure." He sort of shot himself in the foot when he said yes to "Are you free on Sunday?" If I were Potter, I would probably say, "I don't know, let me check. I'll look at my schedule." And also, Potter knows no one else in that party. He only knows this black guy, and he's not even that close to him. So I have no idea what I've gotten myself into. He has no idea either. When we're driving there, we already talked about how, okay, let's think of a plan to bail out. So when we arrived, we didn't get any signal. So we went to a different parking lot, also the same beach. And then we got signal, and we all, in the car, we talked about how, okay, this is going to be very awkward. And now I'm regretting coming. Like, we shouldn't have come here at all. And Potter told me, I remember how you told me that you want to try to experience parties and stuff. Well, this is your chance. I thought, hey, maybe Enoch would be interested. And I said, yeah, but also not this kind of party, and also not now. I am going through a grieving period right now. It's just, I don't know, not feeling it. So we walked, and I was dressed like I'm not prepared for the beach at all. I'm dressed like how I would regularly dress. Just random fucking whatever's in my closet. And I was wearing my shoes that I wear every day. Not sandals, not slippers. So obviously wrong shoes. I'm totally not dressed for the beach at all. But whatever, fuck it, who cares? So we walk to the spot, and turns out, there he is, Potter's friend. He's a black guy, not really tall. Has glasses, looks nice. Braids, you name it. And then there are like 3 other black guys, and then 1 Latino and 1 white guy, and they're all tall, and they're all buddies. And I and Potter, we were sticking out like a sore thumb, 2 Asian dudes, not knowing what they're doing. And I tried to socialize, and I think I socialized even better than Potter, because I'm low key good at talking. I'm not good at socializing. I'm good at talking. So I speak to people, and I'm like, oh, so where do you guys meet? Oh, photography class, nice. And there's another guy who seems tougher and meaner, and he's actually in film production in the same college, but he hasn't taken any film production classes yet. He's going to start film 31 next semester. And I told him, oh yeah, I just finished 33. And he's like, oh, so you were on Ends and Means? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, how was the experience? And I'm like, yeah, it's interesting. Yeah. And he's like, how do you mean? And I'm like, well, ups and downs. You learn some stuff, but it's challenging. Yeah. Well, he's on for the journey, but he's not going to take 33. But yeah, it's pretty intriguing, I guess. And then it got really awkward. Potter went back to his car to take some weed, pre-rolled weed, the same weed he bought a couple days ago in Sawtell. We came back and he started smoking weed, and the weed blunt got passed around and stuff, and I was really awkward. I don't smoke weed. I would like to try, but not today. I would like to save it for someone I love, and whoever that someone is. So that's that. So for the most part, I just stood around, not saying anything, looking. Really awkward. And then they started grilling the meat. I immediately, right off the bat, I told them the lie. I said, so I and Potter worked on this lie together. And essentially it is, I have to go very soon. I need to meet a friend for dinner. But nice to meet you all. I'm just going to hang out for about 5 to 10 more minutes, and then I'll have to go. So in the very beginning, I told a couple people about that, and they're like, oh, no, it's cool, it's cool. And I stayed until like 6 p.m. So we arrived at around 4. And at the end, I and Potter hung out for about 2 hours there at the beach. And yeah. And then they started grilling the meats and stuff. And oh my god, this is fucking Salmonella, E. coli, COVID fuckfest. So they were squirting the inflammable fluids on top of the metal rack on which you grill your meats. They started grilling shrimp, and they don't have a cutting board, so they do it on top of an ice box. And then the guy who's marinating the shrimp and marinating the steak, he didn't wash his hands, and he's smoking the blunt, and he would put it back, and he would continue marinating with the same hands. And it's like a fucking mess. And then the meat is even worse, because the meat flopped, and some of that touched the sides of the stove. It's burnt. It doesn't smell great. It didn't smell at all. I couldn't smell anything. It just looks like radioactive food. No thank you. So I ate some tostadas chips, and I ate a marshmallow. I ate a ginger cookie, which just tastes like raw dough. And then I ended up drinking some margarita for the first time, some peach margarita. And it tastes very strong. It's like 9.5%, and I don't know, it's the first time drinking it. It tastes very strong, but also very sweet at the same time. There's this tall white guy whose name is Declan, and apparently he is in USC screenwriting. And I'm like, hey, nice to meet you. And we even exchanged Instagrams before I left. We talked a little bit. I wanted to talk to him more, but who cares? At some point, a seal showed up at the beach, and I and Potter got to go take a look. I took some photos. It was very cute, very nice. And it reminds me of fucking Leslie. So thank you for the emotional trauma. But yeah, at around 6 p.m., it was me. Like, Potter didn't tell them that, I have to leave. It was me who tells them, unfortunately. It's me who does the dirty work. But I think I'm good at it. Like after being produced, like in the producing team for a while, I think I've gotten good at saying shit that's not too easy to say, and actually sound convincing and nice about it. I think I've gained that talent, or at least I've like owned that skill. So I managed to get both of us out of there, and we left. Potter drove me back home. He's like, sorry for this, but at least now you understand. Because Potter does things like this all the time. Like Potter says yes to a lot of parties. Apparently, a few days ago or a week ago, Potter also went to a bonfire event in the same beach with another friend, and it was kind of awkward. Yeah, at least I did something today. At least I went out today. And that's pretty much it. Leslie made an Instagram story for the first time in like a week, and it's just her face, and it's not close friends, which both makes me think it's good, also makes me think it's bad. Good because she seldom shows her own face on public. Bad because I wonder if she's doing a lot of close friend stories, but I'm not in it. Like she just kicked me out. But honestly, again, I don't care. I don't want to care anyways. But it's her face. It's a video of her face, and then it zooms into like an exit sign in the back. It's nice to see her face. Fuck me. And another thing is I put a photo of a seal on my Instagram story, and Leslie liked it. Fucking hell. I'm glad she liked it. I don't know. That doesn't mean anything. She's probably drunk anyways when she looked at her phone. Because I've posted, the trailer to my short film and like funny memes. And usually she would like them, but she won't like them. But of course she would like a seal. And that also adds onto my monster allegory. That she's a monster. She's a combination of all creatures. She is also a seal because of all the seal emojis she would text me back then. Now not. And then another thing is Tyler made some Instagram posts about the short film that he and Andrew, the tall white Jewish guy, is working on. And I wanted to help out too because I wanted to be on some sets. So I actually DM'd Tyler saying, hey, do you guys need help? I'm totally down to help. I want to work on more sets. I can do scripty stuff, production stuff. And then Tyler responded saying, oh yeah, I think we still need a scripty. I'm going to talk to the production people. So, holy shit, more jobs for me. That's great. I've been thinking about cinema a lot, obviously. I've been doing a lot of researches lately, today and yesterday, about like cameras and lenses, like cinema cameras and cinema lenses. Not so mirrorless cameras and lenses. Especially anamorphics. And no, I'm into the anamorphic fever once again. But I've also been thinking about how, yeah, I probably enjoy, like, I probably think scripty and production stuff is like suits me. But when I go out there, I also want to try something that, that is in the creative side of things. And after the short film shoot, I realized that being in the camera team and being in G&E is just horrifying. It just doesn't work for me. And I'm thinking I'm actually low-key interested in being in the art department. But it just really depends on what sort of sets are we making. But I think art department is actually like suits me even more than camera team. Because I'm such a fucking artsy guy. I don't know, we'll see. But interesting. And then tomorrow will be very interesting because we'll be interviewing Leia. It'll be in the main campus. I texted Tova a little bit today about preparing for tomorrow. I'm going to charge my camera. I'm going to write down some of the interview questions. I can't believe we're actually doing it. It feels fucking illegal. It feels wrong. But it is happening. Yeah. I don't know. And I don't know why Leia agreed to it. It's crazy. When I told Michelle that, Michelle was shocked. She was like, what? Leia? That bitch? Yes, that bitch. We're interviewing her. Yes. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe on Tuesday I'll go to that crew mixer thing. So not Donkey nor Horse is holding a bit of a crew mixer. I've mentioned that this morning. Yeah. One thing I want to talk about is that a few days ago when I called my mom said she knows someone who's in USC, like in the not professor, but like works in USC film, and he knows someone in the admissions, and maybe he can ask a favor and have USC reconsider me, which is insane. I would like to do the traditional reapplication way, but that's something. And not much else. The whole bonfire thing didn't completely derail my plan for today, but it did eat up like 4 hours. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna do the laundry now. Final fucking lead. And yeah, I guess if there's one more thing to add, it's my feelings. I still really miss her, and I still feel a tinge of sadness. I can't cry anymore though. It just I think I'm slowly accepting it for real. But it still hurts, you know. Yeah. Alright, time now is exactly 10 a.m. on June 26th. I slept from like 4:30 to 9:30. Yeah, 5 hours. Not the end of the world. Wish I could sleep more though. The sleep was pretty solid itself, but they're having some sort of construction. Like at some point at around 8 something a.m. I believe there were like knocking noises from outside. Like what the fuck? It's 8 a.m. Okay? Like if you want to do construction, do it at 10. Yeah, so there's that. Today's gonna be a little bit interesting because I'm heading to the main campus with my camera, with my laptop, with my hard drive, with my entire life savings. And essentially, I'm going to be meeting up with Tova. We're going to do some more file transfer. And we're going to interview Leia for the secret documentary. Which, again, like I said last night, feels illegal. It feels illegal. Doesn't feel like, feels crazy, the fact that we're actually doing this. I know a lot of people would want to leave this behind. Film 33. I know a lot of people would like to leave this nightmare behind and just continue to move on with life. But I guess my rebuttal would be I have 130 gigabytes worth of footage in my hard drive right now for Film 33. I can't let them go to waste. What am I going to do with them? Bury them in the sand? No, I'm going to have to edit a documentary. And also, I can't let these voices go unheard, you know? So, yeah, I have to make this documentary. Yeah, yeah, and then not much else, honestly. I still don't really know what to eat for lunch. I guess I sort of have an idea what to eat for lunch. Sorta, in a way. I think I'll have, like, bread, and then, maybe a French toast with, I don't know. I actually don't know. Maybe I'll just go buy a Subway or something. Yeah, and then that's pretty much it. You know, one funny thing is, I didn't think of Leslie this morning after I woke up. I think it's because, I mean, I still love her, and in a parallel universe where she actually treats me nice on set and anywhere else, I would definitely want to continue my relationship with her. But the thing is, knowing that she's not interested in me, I think my mind just automatically shut her off. And also, it's different from Mary, because with Mary, I don't even, like, I'm not even that close to her. So it ended up being like, I still think of her because there's nothing hostile about her. But there's definitely something extremely hostile about Leslie. Extremely. So I think my mind just shut her away. I didn't dream about her. I didn't think about her this morning. Just, you know, she just shut off, really. I don't even look at pictures of her, even though I actually can. It will bring some sort of pain, but I think I can look at photos of her. I really do miss her. I really do. But then again, I can't check off her hostility, you know? It's there. I don't know. But given that she liked my Instagram story yesterday, I think that the chances of us watching 2001: A Space Odyssey would be likely. And again, it's just the right ending. You know, it is the perfect ending. It started with Seven Samurai. I fell in love with her when we watched Seven Samurai, and fell out of love when we watched 2001: A Space Odyssey. Started with a film, ended with a film. Simple as that. Yeah. And I don't know, all the could'ves and the would'ves. I dreamed of doing so many naughty things with her, like smoking weed and fucking drinking alcohol, getting drunk. Because I don't get to do that with anyone else, and I want to do those things with Leslie because she is the naughty girl. But I'm sure there are lots of naughty girls in LA that are also not fucking white pieces of paper with no personality, and are actually nice to a degree and is open for a relationship, and are artsy. Difficult to find, but I mean, I'm bound to find some. And also, USC has a way greater like Asian population than the community college I'm in. And again, I don't want to limit myself to one freaking race, but I feel like I'm the kind of person who would only be able to relate to Asians deeply anyways. So, I don't know, we'll see. Again, I should just go back to my square one, and that is, I want my first date to be a Hong Konger, because I want to know what I've missed out on. Yeah. But yeah, you know, aside from that, I got loads of stuff to do today. So last night I ended up not watching any movies because I just didn't have any time. Yeah, and I think I'm good with the trailer. I think I found a way to avoid copyright. It's weird, but if it has a black screen for like a second, then they'll block it. If you use the same music but has stuff on top of the black screen, like images, then they will just copyright claim it, not block it. Because, I don't know, it's like a punishment system. If it's a black screen, they would think you're just uploading the audio. and they punish you a little harder. I've actually never been here.
How did she start dating him? I thought her and Jonathan were like a thing.
Alright, time now is 9:35 p.m. So yeah, today's a very interesting day. Definitely the most interesting day in a while. Yeah. I'm also texting Michelle at the same time. So, right now I'm actually starving, extremely hungry. I want to have dinner, but I can't because my roommates are outside, meaning that I will starve myself. So, yeah, I guess before dinner I'll just talk about today in general. Morning, slept for 5 hours, sleepy, went back to bed for about 20 minutes, and I thought that wouldn't be very detrimental, but it sort of is, I guess. Because after I woke up, I brushed my teeth and drank some cold water, and boom, stomach ache, which means that I immediately had to go to the bathroom, which took a little while, and I ended up not having any time to do any reviews. I planned to do 3 reviews this morning, and I wasn't able to do any of them, and I had to immediately leave to the main campus. So Tova told me to come to main campus anytime between 11 to 12 because Leia is arriving at 1 p.m. So, yeah, I arrived at 12:05, you know. Even though I didn't do any reviews, I was still somehow late. But I arrived with my laptop, hard drive, camera, everything. I got all my gear ready, cameras charged. I am ready to roll, baby. And right off the bat, we met up at the library, and you know, it's library's supposed to be quiet, but Eindhoven talked a bit, and essentially we can't book a study room to do the interview because she's not enrolled in any classes for the summer semester. Also, she's struggling a bit because she needs to take a math class for the summer semester if she wants to successfully transfer to UC Santa Cruz for the fall. But the thing is, the summer semester has already begun for like a whole week, so she's not sure if any of the math classes would like accept her. So pretty high stakes, I must say, pretty high stakes. But anyways, I transferred the files from my laptop to her SD card. It's like 9 gigabytes-ish, 8 point something gigabytes. It's not a lot compared to like the rest I have, but to her it's enough because that's 1 hour and 13 minutes of footage. But yeah, essentially, that's that. So at some point, also we began texting around. It feels like a production meeting, except instead of Birkin and Zach controlling everything and us being under the oppression of Cuchillo, we're free and we're equal. And so Tova continued texting people to ask them for interviews, texted Amy with no response because Amy's probably back in Indonesia already. She texted Amy over Discord, waiting for a response. She then texted Andrew. I think she texted NJ, who was always down to interview because NJ and Tova are friends. And then I texted people. I texted Eric, and before he even questioned me, like, what's the project for, he's like, what day? He's so fucking down, it's amazing. And then told him that maybe Nick can join too. So Eric is texting Nick, so that's crazy. So Eric's in. And then I texted Red again to make sure that he's in, because it's very fucking important that Red agrees to do the interview, and Red is still in. Holy shit. And then she texted Jonathan again. I don't know if Jonathan's responding or not, but Jonathan needs to be interviewed. It has to be. Without him, it would just be different. And then I texted Anna, Instagram DMs. I was debating whether I should text Theo or not. Theo is important and he needs to be interviewed, but I wonder if I should be the one to do it. Maybe Tova should be the one to do it. Because Theo's a little bit suspicious of me, it would be weird coming from me. But Anna, so both Tova and I aren't that close with Anna, but at the end I was like, fine, I'll do it. So I Instagram DM'd Anna. I sent her like a paragraph, like a bunch of stuff, not a paragraph, but a bunch of stuff that looks like a paragraph. Essentially like, hey, so Tova and I are preparing for an interview, and you know, we thought you would be a great interviewee. Like, are you down for a bit of an interview? Like, and then she responded, and it took her a while to type it, and then she responded saying, I'm sorry, I don't want to be on camera, with a shy emoji. And I'm like, well, it could be like a phone call if you want, or over Discord. And she's like, no, I'm sorry, I don't want to be involved in this anymore. And I'm like, okay, that's fine, but let me know if you change your mind, because, you know, others are joining too. Fuck, we lost Anna. It's such a huge blow, because I know Anna has a lot to say, but I totally respect her for not wanting involvement with this ends and means nightmarish horror anymore. I mean, I totally understand that. And Anna's smart. Anna's protecting herself. That's great. But in the meantime, Andrew responded saying yes. That's later in the day. And then Red's still in. Eric's in. Nick might be in. Trinity Gang's in. And a few people are NJ are in. And of course, me, Enoch, and Tova. Us ourselves are in. So obviously that's already a lot of people. And honestly, it's pretty freaking fantastic. I actually broke down like a list of names of all the people who are in. Anna and Orson are crossed out. Yeah, that's not bad. And of course, Leia's in. So at around 1:30, 1:40, Leia's arrived. At that point, we had to find a different spot to film the interview. Tova suggested the Student Services Center, 3rd floor, where it's kind of quiet. It's not the best spot, but that's what she could think of. So I'm like, sure. So we both went there. It's not bad. Could be better. But we went there. I waited there a little bit. Tova went down to fetch Leia. And then, a while later, Leia's here. Holy shit, it's actually happening. Before Leia came, I told Tova, like, I can't believe we're actually doing this. It's crazy. It's actually crazy that we're actually doing this. This is a resurgence movement. And I'm glad I'm not the only one, and I'm glad I'm not the only crazy one. Because I don't know if in the entire history of this entire college, this film program, that someone would make an epic documentary and we're actually interviewing people and people are actually agreeing, aside from Anna, unfortunately, which is absolutely insane. And there's Leia, holy shit. And again, both I and Tova were a little nervous in the beginning because, I don't know, Leia's known to be a toxic bitch. But Leia came and we all settled down and it was actually really nice. Tova even brought a couple water bottles. So we sat down, I whipped out my camera, and we began the interview. And originally we thought the interview was going to be like 10 to 15 minutes long. No, it went on for 1 hour and 20 minutes. It went on and on and on and on and on, because Leia has a lot to say. In the beginning, it was a little she tries to avoid names. She tries to be vague in the beginning. But then as she talks more about the class, she gets more and more heated, and by the end, she's full name dropping. Not even name dropping, like she's dropping full names of people. And then she's like talking deep into the lore, deep into the drama, even though she doesn't know that much drama of My Film 33, but because she wasn't there on the shooting days, but she said almost everything she knows. There was a couple things. First of all, there was a room at the side, and they're like clapping hands every 5 seconds, and it's really annoying. Another thing is we're right beside the IEC, meaning that Liana and Alex, the Brazilian guy, can walk out at any given moment. And in fact, Alex, the Brazilian, did walk out at some point, but he didn't see us because we're stealthy like that. Another thing is I'm holding the camera, a 1 pound, how many pounds? How many grams? 1,400 and something grams of metal on my hand for 1 hour and 20 minutes. Yeah, it's extremely tiring. Sound is not a huge issue, but I wish there was a microphone or something. And there was a bit of like Tova was dominating with the questions at some point, but then I also went off with my questions. And the way she asked questions and the way I ask questions are different. She asked more general questions, like how do you feel about the whole class being like this? How do you feel about the whole class having this system? Meanwhile, I try to ask questions chronologically, meaning like, oh, how do you feel about the beginning of the class? How do you feel about the campaign shoot? How do you feel about the drills? How do you feel about the actual shoot itself? And so that she would answer those questions, and I would cut, when I edit it, I would cut that to a segment of like the actual things happening in chronological order. So I'm like, I have the movie in mind when I'm interviewing. But the interview went really well. Again, Leia got really into it. I and Tova were like laughing and agreeing, and it went all the way until like 4 p.m. or something, 3 something p.m. And at that point, we're all really hungry. I planned to just go home, make myself a bowl of miso soup and rice, and fry up some fatty pork, chop up some onions, maybe eat some ice cream afterwards. But everyone's hungry. Leia's like, do you want to go eat something? And we're like, sure. So Leia, me, and Tova went to a pizza place that's right across the campus, right across the road. And partially the reason why we're going together is also because Leia wants to hear the drama. Because Leia actually doesn't know anything. He knows like maybe the tip of the iceberg and some deep stuff, but there's tons of shit. Like the Burrito Gate incident, me and the PAs being dumped at the side of the at the subway on day 1, the stuff with Liana and Dominic yelling at each other, fucking Gustavo and Leslie yelling at each other, all the fucking drama, Ariel and Benny dating, and the pickup day and Cucchio's exclusive little club, all that stuff. The whole Thomas's script was actually almost chosen. Carly was pre-chosen as director. Elsie didn't even come up with the ends and means idea. Like all this deep lore shit, and we're all blasting it towards Leia's face all at once, and Leia enjoyed it a lot. Leia also mentioned her girlfriend a lot, and during the pizza lunch, she talked about how like her girlfriend's keeping her awake because they're having sex, and it's like, I'm glad I'm not the only one who is super sexless and dateless. Like apparently Tova's like that as well. But yeah, still very interesting. The pizza's not bad. It's not that expensive either. I had a can of Sprite and a couple slices of square pizza. It wasn't very filling, but I'm sure that's totally enough calories for me. It was a Sicilian square pizza and then another spicy pepperoni. Not bad. Okay, there's still outside. Fuck, I gotta eat food. So it went really well, and Leia got so interested in our secret project that she's like, you want help? Like, you want help? Like, I can help out if you want. And we're like, yeah, that would be cool. And she said she has a friend who may have a mic. And then Tova said Lizzie, the South Asian American girl, may have a tripod, so maybe we can make the setup even better. And then we're scheduling Eric on Thursday. Maybe Nick is joining as well. And then Andrew might be joining as well. And then Red and NJ for July 14th. That's happening, which is fucking crazy. So it's all coming together, and it actually feels crazy that something like this is happening. It's a fucking resurgence. It's amazing. And again, it's like, I don't know. I feel like I don't know. This is just crazy. It's a crazy start to a project. This crazy idea. So there's that. In the meantime, Betsy texted me on DMs, asking me, "Hey, so I heard that you're staying another semester here. Can you I just had a meeting with the Indian professor, Professor Antonio, and Professor Cucchio about a rental library. So can you tell me a little bit about the Film 33 equipment and also Film 34? That's a bullshit leading question. She's only asking me that so that she would hear more drama about Film 33 and 34. And also Film 34, which is this mysterious new class that Kushio might be opening a couple semesters later. But, you know, Betsy's beginning to dig information for me. And I just recently found out that it's Michelle who accidentally told Betsy about the fact that I'm staying one more semester. But it's not that big of a deal. It's not that crazy of a secret. It's not that damning or anything. It's totally fine. But yeah, that's essentially it. I also DM'd Allegro, the Chinese producer, about tomorrow's crew mixer event for Not Donkey Nor Horse, and he's willing to drive me there from USC and then drive me back home en route. So that's great. I'm going tomorrow, and that's that. So exciting times. I feel like, damn, it's June 26th. It's been 6 days since the breakup, and I feel okay emotionally. Of course, I still feel fucking sad. Like, when I mentioned Leslie today, I still feel fuck, you know. So yeah, I'm probably still in the depression phase, but I'm really moving on quickly. I don't even feel the need to look at her photo. I don't even feel that, because I know she feels nothing for me, and she also reminds me of, like, you know, yeah, she reminds me of a lot of beautiful memories, but between May to June, late May to late June, it's nothing but sour, hostile memories. So yeah, there are things to miss about her. There are things not to miss, you know? I really wish it wouldn't come down this way. I really wish. I did look at the poem I wrote for her, and I realized that, fuck, it's really well written. It's really well written. Really beautiful, really moving. And I just wish that it didn't have to come this way. Like, if she is more mature about it, if she respects socializing with me more, if she wasn't the storage guardian, maybe we could be together, and it would be so fucking nice. And she's so beautiful and young and full of life and full of energy and full of color, and she's so interesting. It's, yeah. But there's no point in contemplating that. I have to move on with life. I have to continue this path. I have no choice but to march on, and I feel like mentally I'm there. I am marching on right now. I'm persevering right now. And I think that's all that matters. So for June 30th, when I see her again, I'm going to be as mature as it gets. I'm going to show her that, hey, at the end of the day, I'm fucking 2 years older than you. And I respect social life more than you. Sure, I'm edgy, artsy sometimes, but that doesn't detract me from actually being a decent human being, because that's also really important. So, yeah, that's that. And not much else. I'm going to go cook myself dinner. Salmon, potatoes, salad, easy peasy lemon squeezy. So yesterday I was going to do the laundry, and of course when I want to do the laundry, my roommate's always doing the laundry. So fine, I had to wait until like 12 at midnight when his laundry is over, Michael, the Colombian boyfriend, then I could do it. And when I do it, you know, I do it fast, but I had to go to bed, so my clean clothes end up staying in the dryer this morning. And then, of course, when I come back home, it's on the fucking kitchen counter. You can't even put it on the fucking couch. So yeah, I'm rewashing it, because the kitchen counter is literally full of cockroaches and shit and piss and egg yolk and whatever. So fucking A, thank you. So I'm gonna rewash them. It's not the first time anyway. It's like the third or fourth fucking time where I have to rewash clothes because my roommate keeps washing. And why? Why did you like have a break last night? Like, I don't know. Yeah, but that's pretty much it for today. I actually successfully filmed 3 reviews in a row with a crisp voice and with energy, which is really impressive. But yeah, holy crap, I'm so fucking in on this project. This is I bet they had no idea. When I joined Film 33, they thought I was harmless, little fucking rabbit, like innocent guy. Who would have thought that I am the same guy who has enough footage? I have 130 gigabytes worth of footage in my hard drive right now. I got interviews lined up. I'm producing the fucking thing. I'm producing the fuck out of it, man. I got a huge Google Doc planning the structure of the documentary, planning the interview questions. It's gonna be crazy. They will not see this coming. No one will see this coming.